Welcome to the Michigan Golfer Show with your host, Bill Shelton. Join us each week as we explore the people, the places, and the events that shape our great game.
Welcome to this edition of the Michigan Golfer. Perhaps one of the most exciting and prestigious golf tournaments in the state of Michigan is the Detroit newspaper's Michigan Open at Grand Traverse Resort and Spa. Tim Hygh reports on the story.
Well, it was a day of catching up and a day of holding on at the final round of the Michigan Open here at the Bear Grand Traverse Resort. Bob Ackerman prevails as the Michigan Open champion at the same time that he holds the Senior Open Championship, which he won just a couple of weeks ago up at Bedford Valley. The last round starts with Ackerman holding a two-stroke lead over Gary Smithson, who had the lead at the halfway point of the tournament. But Smithson seemed to be leaking oil as the tournament went along. After leading by 2 strokes going into the third round, he finished the third round trailing by 2 strokes. And then today, all the wheels came off of his cart as he shot a final round 83. He had a quadruple bogey on the 9th hole, putting 2 shots into the water, and a triple bogey on the par 4 12th hole, shooting a final round 83 and finishing well down the leaderboard. And playing in the group just ahead of the leaders is Brian Snyder, the assistant professional from the Detroit Golf Club. And Brian Snyder sneaks in with a 3 under 69 and forces a playoff as Ackerman limps in with a bogey on number 18. So they go to the playoff hole, and Ackerman drives right down the middle, and Snyder puts his into the bunker, and then he sneaks his way in with a 6, and Ackerman actually wins this golf tournament by finishing bogey on the last hole of regulation and bogey on the first hole of the playoff.
Yeah, I didn't, obviously didn't expect to be here. Even as well as I played, even with the 69, I just assumed those guys were going to run and hide. And then we had that weather early. I double bogey my second hole, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go, going backwards. And I just, I got my young man here, and a couple weeks ago, he lives in Florida. I live up here. A couple weeks ago, he called up and he said, Dad, he said, I just watched Angels in the infield. He says, all I got to say is you got to believe.
So Bob Ackerman at the age of 50 is your champion at the Michigan Open for 2003. Again, as he holds the championship also for the Michigan Senior Open. And he dedicated this tournament to his mother and his father. And he's looking forward to the Tournament of Champions at Boyne in just a couple of weeks and thinks that he can play very well there, especially from the white tees. This is Tim Hygh reporting.
Wild Bluff at Bay Mills, voted best golf course in the UP. Golf and gaming packages available from $89.
Staff and employees of the Grand Traverse Resort, and obviously the new owners, the Grand Traverse Band. I think they've taken over maybe 4 months now, and they've supported the tournament. Their first year, they played in the Pro-Am on Saturday, Friday, and Saturday. And members of the band were out here to support the tournament all week, and we certainly appreciate that. But at this time, I'd like to ask Andy Bateman, the Vice President and General Manager of the Grand Traverse Resort, to come up. And before he gets the microphone, Andy, I want to tell you, I've had more and more people from the Michigan PGA come up to me this week and tell me what a remarkable change in attitude there is among the employees, the staff. It was obvious with the green superintendents. We had a luncheon for them the other day. It's just been it's been miraculous. And you take the heat when things are bad. So my friend, take a bow. There's a rebirth of the Grand Traverse Resort. Thank you, Andy.
Truly encouraging words. Thank you very much, Ken. I will not take too much of your time because it's been a long week, I know, for everybody. I'd like to thank the Michigan section of the PGA, Bill Rogers, Jim Dewling, and Ken Devine, and all of the wonderful helpers working with them. Also Tim Zaleda, the tournament supervisor, and the entire PGA tournament staff and officials.
The president of the Michigan PGA, Mr. Bill Rogers. This is about my 10th year being involved with this championship, and talking to the superintendent earlier, he said to me, he said, Bill, we haven't had the U.S. Open here, but we think this week is our U.S. Open, and his staff does come up to that level and present a golf course for our golf professionals
and our state's best amateurs to compete on. So thank you very much for all the hard work you do out there. It is well noticed.
Brian Snyder had a great job out here, Brian. You had it tied yesterday, you let it get away, you brought it back, you let it get away again, and you brought it back. Your second place winner, it ain't all bad. You got $8,300 for second, plus that $2,500 you get from the supporters pool. So that'll put some bread on the table for a while. Brian, great championship. Now the big winner, 50-year-old Bob Ackerman. Bob, come on up. Let's start giving you all this stuff, and then you can say a few words. So you can lift it off the base, certainly. You're the general manager. You can do whatever you want. You run the damn place.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Kind of get Bill move in a little closer there.
Yeah, Bob.
All right, if you put that down, Bob, and I'm going to have, here's the ceremonial check for $13,000. Bill, would you get at one side of that and take your shots of that, folks?
All right, guys, good job.
Every year we talk about the great names on there: Walter Hagen, Walter Berkemo, Chick Harbert, Scott Hebert, and now, for the second time, Bob Ackerman. Congratulations, Bob.
I just like to dedicate this to my mom. I'll put that trophy, next to the trophy that I won a couple weeks ago at the Senior Open, and also put it next to the mementos from the 1975 Michigan Open. So it's a special moment for me. I'd like to thank everybody, and thanks again. A lot better since 1975. But in '75, I was stronger mentally than I had been. And since working with Nicole Merline now, I'm back to kind of the same kind of, using mental techniques to compete and to play well. So to compare the two, the last one's always the best. And I always wanted to win it as a professional, because as I won it as an amateur, it was like, you could fluke a win.
Thank you for watching The Michigan Golfer.